Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're doing our daily MLB pitching preview show with Troy West from allplayswin.com. Right now we're looking at the card for Thursday, July 9th. A short card, some interesting pitching matchups though. We'll hear what Troy has to say about it. Troy West, tell us a little bit about allplayswin.com. You're profitable in baseball season this year.
Yeah, it's been very profitable in baseball season, Pete. We changed our philosophy once the second week hit. We really went to a very selective system. A lot of times you're going to get one game a day, Pete. A lot of times you may even get a pass, but I think that's what differentiates us with many of the other companies out there. We've been on fire as of late, really just riding the hot market teams and fading the teams that are on the down slopes, and it's paid off. Very selective. Take a look at allplayswin.com. As you know, 24-10 in the NBA playoffs, been great in the MLB, and we all know our track record in the NFL and college football. So what are you waiting for? Allplayswin.com, best customer service out there, Pete.
All right, Troy. Well, you're being selective. Maybe you're taking the Dodgers, but in this series against Philadelphia. But if you are, you're taking these huge numbers. But I don't know. If you're taking a minus 300 number and the Dodgers actually have an 80% chance of winning, then that is value right there. Zach Greinke starts on Thursday against Kevin Correa, and this just looks like a huge pitching mismatch in favor of the Dodgers. But Greinke, 4 straight starts without giving up a run, but the Dodgers still only won 3 of those games, and they're actually just 5-5 over his last 10 starts, although they're 11-6 overall on the year. Still, though, I don't know. Just looking at it at first glance, you got to think maybe the Dodgers do have like an 80% chance of winning this game. What's your take on that matchup, Troy?
Yeah, they probably do, Peter. I think, laying that kind of money to win that kind of money is probably not the most beneficial from a perspective. Even on the run line, you're going to be in the minus 140, 150 range. But I think you're better off if they're going to win the game. What is the probability that they win by 2 runs or more? I think you're better off at looking at something like that. But like you said, Pete, this is about as lopsided of a pitching matchup as you're going to find in baseball. Kevin Correa has been bad, and ugly all year. Greinke's been outstanding. Good lineup, bad lineup. Very much missed this game. I would take a shot with the Dodgers minus 300 plus. They may even creep to 400. We may see the highest money line of the year, Pete. I would have to go run line if I'm going to bet it myself.
And then this guy, Josh Smith, is going for Cincinnati. He's had 3 starts in the majors so far. Each one has been awful. Miami has kind of a weakish lineup now with Stanton out. Will they be able to hit him? And he's going up against Jose Fernandez. His first start back was not awesome, but it was promising. He had 6 strikeouts, no walks. His control was good, and that's definitely something you want to look for with a guy coming back from injury. Maybe Fernandez, if Fernandez can be reasonably good again and Smith is awful again, then Miami is the side with value. Is that likely to happen, Troy?
Yeah, I think Miami could have some value here. People, my initial lean's on the under here. I think 2 fairly quality pitchers going on the mound, 2 lineups that weren't much to speak of. Fernandez, like you said, I think his second start, he's going to be a lot better than he was first start. He looked good. He was hitting that 99-mile-an-hour mark with his fastball. I got to go. I like a small lean on Miami, but my initial lean here, people, the under. 2 good pitchers, 2 bad lineups. Fernandez, I think, is going to be dynamite. Going to go under here.
Okay, and then this guy, Cody Anderson, young pitcher for Cleveland, had an interesting start so far. He's had 3 great starts, although they weren't the toughest competition, right? He faced Tampa Bay twice and then once at Pittsburgh, and those are 3 relatively easy assignments. Here he's going to be at home against Houston, which can have a more powerful lineup, especially with home runs, that they're going to have the DH. We'll see what the weather is, but do we expect a 4th straight great start from Anderson or maybe a little bit of regression here? What do you think?
I think we're in the game that I wanted to speak on, Pete. I've actually got an variation in the under here. Colin McHugh went through that little rough patch, but this is a guy that pitched really well last year. Came into this year, he still is 9-4. His ERA doesn't an all-star, but this is a very quality pitcher. Cody Anderson throws a lot of strikes. I think he'll keep the Houston lineup in check. Very strong lean on the under. This is a game I was looking forward to speaking on. 2 good pitchers, 2 good lineups, but not great lineups. I'm going to go under. I think you're going to get a 7.5 type of over/under. I'm going to go under.
Okay, that sounds good. And then another game that at first glance looks like it's got underwritten all over it, but we might see a 5.5 in this one, is Garrett Richards against Felix Hernandez, the Angels and Seattle. Both Richards and Fernandez look awesome right now. Richards was off to a little bit of a shaky start in the beginning of the year, but you knew he was going to bounce back from that and right the ship, and he's definitely done that. Richards against Hernandez, starting pitching matchup to me looks like a wash. Lineup advantage, I don't know. What's your take on that game?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. You probably will get it at about 6.5 would be my guess. These 2 have faced off. Both these teams do have potential to put some runs. So Seattle have a pretty stable lineups, do have potential to be shut out. For me, it's a complete pass. Like you said, pitching matchups a lot. We really go with the under. When you look at a team like the Angels, they have had success off of Felix Hernandez in the past, and Garrett Richards obviously has had success in Seattle as well. So it's a tough one, Pete. It's a pass for me. It's going to be a great matchup, but no real strong in terms of betting.
Well, just 10 games on the card for Thursday, July 9th. Is that all that you wanted to cover? Is there anything we didn't mention that you think is worth looking at?
No, you guys got it. We covered it all, and let's hope we have another great week, Pete.
All right. Troy West from allplayswin.com. Thanks so much. Talk to you again very soon.